Alrighty, well, hello everyone. This will be a Luigi's Mansion tutorial on the NTSC version of the game for no out of bounds and 100%. I'll try to do both, and not at the same time, but I'll explain what I mean by that when I say both. But like, I'm going to try to do like a detailed tutorial of advanced and like, beginner and advanced strats. We'll start from like what you can do like right away to what you can do build yourself up to and what you can think about along the way. Like building yourself up to getting like an understanding of the controls and everything else and getting yourself on your way to doing things like more advanced, easier, and faster basically. Which is kind of how I learned the game, so I'm trying to like utilize how I learned and see if that hopefully that will help others as well. Because I've developed a really nice consistency that a lot of people won't like, that I like myself as well, and a pretty nice thing to have. But yeah, it's all from just like building a base from the beginning. It's the main thing. But anyway, I will be doing like videos of like room by room stuff. We'll be using like, I'm using emulator here to help me out with like explaining things a little bit better so I don't have to go back up, especially in like really far walk places. We don't want to walk all the way up there constantly. But we want to be able to do it a couple times to explain. Most likely, it'll help. Obviously, I wanted to get the webcam if I wanted to explain something myself, and the hand cam as well. I figured that would help people as well. But yeah, I mean, like, if you want to start running this game, obviously suggesting a casual playthrough of playing through the game some type of way would be helpful, in my opinion, but some people don't like to do that. If they don't like to do that, then they can go right into the run if they want to, and whatever you want to do. And just in case we have that type of idea, I'm going to start right from the beginning and pretty basic. For like this video, I'm going to start with basic stuff for like the early part of the game. So, I mean, in early game, obviously, we won't even start with that actually. We'll just get to the actual thing and I'll just show you. If you don't even know how to like move, you don't even know what actual movement of Luigi is, it's pretty obvious and won't take long to figure out, but just in case you want to know. Obviously, a controller stick moves Luigi around. The Z stick moves the which way Luigi is looking while you're doing it. This will help in like hallway situations and avoiding being scared and stuff. And also kind of use it for angles and stuff like that. The B button is the flashlight, which you'll use to stun ghosts with in the speedrun. Yeah, and there is a, what else do we have here? We have the R button, obviously, because you want to suck up the ghost. You can knock on objects with it, or not knock on objects. You can activate objects, and pull things off like I did there with the mirror. The A button obviously activates by Luigi actually knocking on something, or just calling Mario. If you're not knocking on anything, which is obviously nothing but literally a meme, but it's pretty great, so one way or the other. Here's a couple other options. We have the Z button, which shows you like what your inventory is, which is not relevant to this, but it exists. You can see how much money you have. The X button brings out the Gameboy horror, so you can like, it takes pictures of things, and sometimes you can, or like the horror itself will make you aware of what it is. Or like give you like some type of idea. Sometimes it gives you some type of secrets on helpful on trying to be a ghost later, which is, I'll explain it here so you won't have to worry about stuff like that, but that's kind of a casual thing. And as well, we also have the Y button, which shows the map. If you don't already, like, in the speedrun we have this thing called the map glitch now, which disables this map to show up. The reason why that's a good thing is because when you pick up a key in this game, Luigi shows a key to you and shows you how great it is, puts it in his pocket, and then the map shows up and it shows you where that key goes to at the time, and then you press B and exit and continue. But to avoid having to do that, we do this thing called a map glitch before the run starts. So it'd be good to start and go in and do it now. You go to trading room, which is the third option in the game. regardless of what version you're on, you won't be able to see training room here, obviously, but if it's English, you'll see training room. Or if it's PAL, you'll see French for training room. I don't even remember what it was. But one of those. Also, we won't worry about PAL. We'll probably do something with that later as well. But we're going to start with those. So anyway, you want to scroll to the third text box as I did there. You see that there's like a third text box. You see how there's like green writing there? You want to basically soft reset the console from the controller and press A and Y at the same time, mashing it really quickly. For people that don't know this, you can soft reset a console by pressing Start B and X at the same time. So what I'm doing is I'm pressing Start B and X at the same time, holding them all down at once. And while I'm doing that, I'm mashing A and Y at the same time. Let's see if I can do that. May not be able to do it, it's a little weird from this angle for me to do it this way. There it goes. Okay, so like if it works, it should go all black. It shouldn't fade out like the first one did, so it's kind of good that we messed it up too. So you see like the idea of what both happens. So yeah, whatever, it doesn't really matter how you can make it work, just make it work. Obviously, it doesn't have to be like that fast because it's not part of the speedrun, it's something you do before it. But if you're not sure that it worked, it disables the map, so the Y button won't work. So I'm pressing the Y button, you see me pressing the Y button, and nothing is happening. That means it works. So now when I pick up a key during the speedrun, I will not see the animation of it, which, I mean, if you're mashing B to get out of it, it doesn't save a lot, but it saves around 10 seconds per speedrun, which matters in the long run, obviously. Alright, just need some water, we're good. Always stay hydrated, that's a good thing too. Anyway, we can, let's see. Anything else I wanted to say about that? I think that's pretty much the basic of everything. Another thing that you obviously want to know, the speedrun starts from a New Game Plus file. I didn't explain this. New Game Plus file for No Out of Bounds. You have to beat the game once in order to unlock it. So if you're like doing this and going into Training Room and you're like, dang, Training Room is a second option, fool, what are you talking about? Well, you haven't beaten the normal mansion once yet, so that you get it to be the third option, or Hidden Mansion to exist as a second option so that it becomes the third option. Once you have the second option, even if you want to run normal mansion, I would still do this because you get both options available either way. And you won't have to watch the beginning cutscene of the game as well. Once you have New Game Plus, you just go right into the mansion, which is how this works. So to start a speedrun of this game, you would start the second that I press A on this file. And you would always want to do the first file. It used to not matter before save and quit. It used to matter, but now that we save and quit, obviously you wouldn't want a menu far away from the first file that it makes you go to in the menu. It's easier and it'll save a little bit, barely anything, but enough to avoid any type of time loss. So you want it to be the first file. And also, like, when you beat the game once, obviously save over your file so that you have like a couple to save over. If you make a mistake or you want to like save somewhere to practice or something like that, that's a good idea. Or maybe you just want to like if you say, obviously if you save and quit during the run and you want to like retry a run and you have that save file, you have no other save file, you're kind of screwed, right? So you want to have that extra one. I always say have a couple memory cards if you want to do that save file around, so that you have like one with like a bunch of different save options, and then have one with at least 2 ready to go files, and then the other one can be whatever. That way you can always save over on the 2. But you know, just keep that in mind so you don't get yourself in that pickle. Otherwise, you just have to finish the file, which isn't that big of a deal, but you know. So when you're starting to run, you'd press A on the file. Timer would start there. EGAD would ask you where you want to go. And you would say the hidden mansion, which is the second option. Just mashing through all the cutscenes. And basically you want to walk to the left. The left is the optimal moving way because of what door is faster to walk through, basically, which I'll explain in a second when I get there too. But because the left door is faster, because of the animation, I'll show that in a second, but because it's faster, you have to walk all the way over here to get to it, so you would want to walk this way. So as like a beginner thinking, you know, just get yourself up there. It's pretty easy, you know, just walk around, get up by the door, and we're here now. So in all double door situations in this game, Luigi has two different animations. He will push the door open if he's on the left side, or he will pull the door open if he's on the right side. The left side animation, which you may be able to tell just by looking, is about a second faster than the right door is. And Luigi is kind of magnetically forced to the right side. Like if I go over here, he's still going to do the right side. So you want to make sure, especially in the beginning, when you're getting used to this, don't be afraid to like take a little bit over more than maybe you even need to, and just make sure you get the left door. Because even then, you're still going to save time over the right door. Just make sure you get the left door, it's the main thing. You always want the left door. Obviously, if you don't have a double door, like the door up here, for example, I don't have an option. I'm gonna have to pull that door. But if you have an option and you have two doors, just make sure you're doing the push animation. Here's the important thing. Alrighty, so when you go through this door, you have the first room. In order to activate the cutscene and the initial ghosts in this room, you have to take out the candles that are in this guy right here. Or right beside this portrait on the left and right sides. So you want to walk into the room, basically, and like try to suck them off while walking toward them at the same time. You only have to lift your vacuum up a little bit, and I should literally have my hands where the cam is so you can see me, what I'm doing. That would probably help you. But you just want to lift it up just a little bit and do that left back and forth, and you'll get this animation. But just a slight bit, like, you'll notice the, a little bit of, a little bit of difference in the candles depending on what it is. You just want to lift it up just a tad bit and then wiggle left and right back and forth. Basically. And what you're going to get here is you're going to get like a little bit of a cutscene. They're going to all try to scare you all the way, and you know Luigi isn't scared, so he just stays. And he tries to pretend like he's scared, but he's really not, so, you know. And we'll get the save state here, so we have this. Alright, so the first room, you're going to get a ghost behind you. You just need to flash him and press R and suck up the ghost. Basically, the way this game works, you're going to need to flash the ghost by flashing it with the flashlight, which means releasing the B button. You want to hold it down and flash it and let go of it so that it flashes the ghost. Press R right after that, as soon as that happens. And you'll start getting like this suck up animation where you're like riding on this little string of like suck up animation, and you want to just point in the opposite direction of where the ghost is going, and you do that every 10 health. In this first room they'll all have 10 health, so you'll just kind of have to lean back and then you'll be done, basically. So just from like a basic standpoint, turn around, flash, R. Get this, and we'll try our best to stay on the webcam, I promise. Oh, and yes, something else I can explain. When you're spawning the next ghost, and it'll probably be a little bit easier for newer players to like see it, so we'll just do like the spinner. Any like ghost there's like ghost cycles in this game. You suck up the first cycle, and then there's a little bit of a wait time, and then there's another cycle. The way you can spawn all of the ghosts at one time is just spinning in a circle. Basically is the easiest way. It works everywhere. You spin in a circle and they all show up regardless. So let's try that again. Alright, so we just spin in a circle. It should be a guy above you. You just want to point back in the opposite direction, get him into the ghost, do it again. Alright, and then you just want to get this key right here, so you can unlock the next door. So you just open the chest, press A, open the chest, and get the key. And he will show the key like he does, and there's no map glitch animation, just like I said earlier, so you don't have to worry about mashing B, which is a nice little save on your hands, I guess. You would just go right into the next room. And I think I'll use this so that I can explain this room. It helps here because these rooms seal themselves off. Yeah, so like, in this room, I'm gonna get a ghost in front of me. You just keep the same idea. Same idea, always spin. As a beginner, always remember to spin in the middle of the room and you're generally gonna find somebody somewhere. You don't have to call Mario like I did, but just like, you know what I mean, just spin. And even if you don't know where the ghosts are, you'll find out where they are. Now here, what will happen is I will get a double. There will be a ghost on the left and the right side of the room. Kind of like probably 3/4 of the way both ways. So you want to kind of stand like in the middle. You can spin too if you want. And then you want to go for a double here. But I mean like, generally. I'll give that idea a look money. Let me get this guy right here, realistic a little bit later. Do not kill me. Okay. So anyway, you can actually just, if you can remember, you can just stand here. And then wait till these guys get close to each other. And then get them together. You can get yourself a double. Now for this next double, which is one of the hardest ones to do, fast, just as a beginner, know that like getting the double is better than not getting the double. Like if you lose a second and a half setting it up because they're right next to each other, it's not a big deal because it's 3 or 4 seconds if you miss it. So you know, just keep it in mind, just getting the double is the most important thing. You can always optimize and practice your way into feeling it later. Just get the double, that's the main thing. You always want to get the double. So I mean like, what I will do here is I will stand like on the square part. I wonder if I can, in fact, let me use this. Let me get the double real quick. Don't get it like that intentionally, but you'll stand like right here. I like to stand on this mark. This little circle on the ground here. And you should be able to do it. I should be able to make something easy and hard. You can do something pretty optimal from there and pretty easy from there at the same time. So we'll just do this from memory here. So like we're gonna look down, the double's gonna show up. Make this double. And then we're gonna stand on this box. And then we go. Even I'm bad at the double, look at that. Try it again. Nice. And we're gonna set ourselves up here. And the more, let's see. You can make it easier than that too. They didn't really make it that easier. If you can get it that way, that's fine. But we're trying to keep it like beginner here. Also, standing a little bit further down will probably be a little bit easier for you here if you don't want to stand in the middle. That's one thing I probably didn't think about. Like in beginner wise, you probably it'd be easier for you to get like the double standing like at a little bit further down at like where this corner is here. And getting this double. And then here, like, you could move a little bit down, is what I was going to say. You can move a little bit down. The reason why I use that logic is because you see how close together they are now, it's easy. The guy up top is faster than the guy on the bottom. So he will come to you, even though I'm running away from him a little bit more than I'm running away from the other guy. So yeah, I would just say stand about here. Easy double. Or not easy double because it can be bad. We'll get it one more time. For example, and then we should be good to go from here. Alright, we'll stand right here. Stand on the circle. Move down here and get this. It should be the easy strat anyway. Should be the easy strat to do. And let's see, I can use this, I guess. Alright. So, we have room number 3. After this, you just want to like get to the door. Like when you're progressing with rooms like this, you want to like progress to the next room. So I guess I can explain that while I'm doing this too. So like after I get this last double, I can obviously you want to get to the door because that's the next door you need to open. So get to the door and then you can press A on it immediately to get to the door right away. That's just for mental sake, since how we're there and we got that. Alright, so wardrobe room is an interesting room. The first part that you will get is there's a ghost that will spawn on the cycle when you walk in the door. Like, if I spawn around here, he's gonna spawn right in the middle of the room like that. Now, typically what we used to do is we used to do this thing called a double with the ghost that's not on the cycle, that's in the wardrobe. So you can get him whenever you want. The lights won't actually come up until you get that ghost out of the wardrobe. I guess they wanted to confuse you and be like, dang, why are the lights coming up? Oh, there's a ghost in here. But you want to hit this and then get them both at the same. Or you don't want to get them both at the same, you want to get them one by one. I said 2 different things. But you wanted to get them both, like, spawned at the same time, I think is what I meant. That's what I was trying to point out there. You want to get them both spawned at the same time. And then you want to get the guy on the right first. It is faster to get singles here. And the reason for it being faster to get singles there is that, from what I explained before, like you have the cycles for the first ghost on the right and not the second ghost on the left. So if you, because it takes a little bit of time to get the double, it takes about maybe like a second or so, about a second to get a good double setup. Even if you do it like really optimally, it takes about a second to get it turned around. And that was a pretty interesting double setup too. But anyway, yeah, you had to do that double setup, and that setup that you have to wait for the other 2 ghosts to spawn. I can even show you this. We'll get a double, easy double for example. So now I'm sitting here and I'm waiting for the next ghost cycle to spawn. And then we have these ghosts here, right? So if I go in here, what I can do is I can get the ghost that's during the cycle, which is the one on the right. And while I'm waiting for the ghost to spawn, I can get the one on the left. And then what will happen is you will like spawn the other 2 in that time being. Now what I would do here as a beginner, just get the ghost like from here. I was like walking the other way, it's really hard and doesn't always save time anyway, so like legit just do like, just suck them back up to the corner and then turn around and you'll get it. It still saves the same amount of time that way. And I'm just ignoring life. Yeah, I'm gonna do that again. Alright, anyway, so we're gonna get this ghost again. We got 1. And 2. and then turn around, and there'll be 2 ghosts here that will spawn. Now you can push the green guy into the orange guy and get it a little bit quicker, but for a beginner's sake, what we'll do is we'll just say, okay, the orange guy moves, so if you're a little bit like not feeling too good with the controls, you're still a beginner and you want to do this, you can do this. This is a beginner strat that works pretty well. You can just stand there and wait till the orange guy gets there. And you can get him that way, which obviously I can't do it, but it's not that hard, trust me. So we get these guys again. One. Turn around and just wait for this guy. And then you're going to get another spawn over here. When you're doing this, and what I didn't actually explain here is obviously you could just spin in the middle of the room to spawn them all, but it is better to be on the corners for these guys, for these doubles. You're kind of already on the corner for this one, so it makes it pretty easy. Just kind of stand there and turn around. But then you'd want to stand by this wardrobe so that they both spawn. And then the same thing. And you want to get rid of the bananas. If your ghost suck up is a little slow, which it's likely when you're a beginner to get used to and bananas show up, just suck them up and get rid of them if they're in the way and go over here. Even if you like spawn this guy a little bit slow, it's okay, because most likely by the time this guy shows up over here walking where he was before, like doing the strat that I'm showing here where the guy walks over towards you as opposed to trying to push him, which we can learn. I can show that later. Basically you just let's say a banana fell right here and I had to get way over here and I wasn't able to get there in time. Actually, that's not a good example, because I still turned around. I meant to face the guy, because I didn't want the green guy to spawn. Wouldn't really... You may know where I'm going with this though, like you wouldn't really lose time doing it. See what I mean? So I mean, if you get in that situation, it's okay, and then obviously always pick up the banana. And when the key drops, it's in the air for a little bit. You see the key up here, that you have to get this in order to go to the next door, which will show you where that goes. But like, you want to get that key, and then you want to go back this way, because we're actually going back to where we were. We're backtracking where we were. The key drops on the ground. When it drops, well, it doesn't drop on the ground, it drops on the little shelf there. When it drops there, it takes 4 seconds before you can actually suck it up into the vacuum. And when you can do that, you can just pick it up and bring it to you. It may not be that hard to do like the strat that I do here. It's not even really that hard to explain. So I'll just explain the strat that I do here. Even beginner-wise, it's not really that bad. I'll ignore what I'm doing here. I don't want to dive into bananas here. Okay, so like, let's see. Okay. So the key drops, and what you can do is you can stand, like, point yourself directly left. This should be easy to remember. Just go straight left. Straight left. Vacuum. C-stick down. Up. You're pointed directly left and up with the vacuum, and you can pull the key out that way. You're about in, let's see if I can level out where this is. Like about... almost where like Luigi's nose is like barely touching the wardrobe. You can use that mark. And then if you want to count the 1, 2, 3, 4, you can start moving back. You can get like a weird wavy animation if you want to like start by like waiting until the key actually moves or something like that. That's good too. But yeah, just point left, down, and then move back. And then you'll get yourself right back to the door you want to get to, and back into this room, and you want to go all the way into where Neville is, over here. And this is where you would walk next, and that will be the next tutorial. We will start with that as the beginner part of the tutorial, with the beginner part and the first 3 rooms. We'll be back for more, so see you guys next time on the LM tutorial.